What if you scribbled an idea on a napkin and it became a limitless scale tech company poised for exit? What if you had a vision of eliminating an inefficiency in your community, industry, or the world, and you had a chance to co-found a company and bring this product or service to the market? What if we could positively impact every social issue with tech? 10x Tech Tank is the #1 daily show for everything tech entrepreneurship. And whether you are technical or not, you will learn, be inspired, and witness transformation in the making. People will share tech ideas on napkins. People will showcase minimum viable tech products. People will explain their cash-flowing tech companies looking for acceleration. And if the person is right, and their idea is right, and the market is right, and the business model is right, then there's a great chance you will witness some serious magic. We are on a mission to build, scale, and sell 10,000 tech companies in 10 years. And we invite you to make history with us. Together, we achieve more.
Welcome to 10x Tech Tank. I am Jared Yellin.
And I'm Eric Nowoslawki.
He's back.
Yep.
He's back with some facial hair and all. What are your thoughts? Let's vote. Do we like the facial hair? Or do we want to clean it up? Clean it up or facial hair? Share in the comments below. So excited to have this dude back. I felt a little bit lonely in this room. He felt really lonely in New Jersey. And we are here in service of you and in service of entrepreneurs literally from around the world. People come each evening and they pitch us their dream. They pitch us the dream of this app that's going to change everything. They pitch us the dream of their industry technology that is going to completely disrupt the industry. They pitch us their dream of a marketplace that's going to connect two different characters that have never met before. And once they connect, it's going to be perfect harmony and to lead to a really successful business. And it's so cool for us because we never know who's going to show up. I mean, every day at this point, we have anywhere from 50 to 100 people that fill out the written application. 50 to 100 people go to pitch10x.com and they fill out the application, hoping that our team, our idea review committee, is going to see something in their submission. They're hoping. They don't know if it will. And when they do see something, they get invited to pitch us in the tank. And then they show up in the tank and they don't know what to expect, and we don't know what to expect, and yet they have a presentation and they share it. And when they share the presentation, what they're trying to do is what our dear friend, Mike Rock, one of our co-founders, says. They're trying to cause and create a future. They're trying to help us see their vision. And when they're showing up, as long as we believe that they're the right person and we believe that this vision is something that's meaningful and needs to take place, there's a good chance they're going to go into due diligence with us. And in due diligence, it's me, it's you, it's a few other people on our team. We go really deep. It's no longer about a 5-minute pitch. It's about a 50 to 60-minute pitch with a ton of questions and answers, hopefully, so that we can say yes to co-foundership. And here's the coolest part for you as someone who's watching the show. You never know if you're going to see the next Slack or the next Clubhouse or the next WhatsApp. You never know if you're going to see that industry technology that's going to radically change one of the industries that we're about to enter into. And by showing up each night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, you have the chance to co-create history. You have the chance to co-author something that's never been done before. We want to thank you. Thank you for showing up, and please be engaged during this experience. As you're hearing these entrepreneurs pitch, if there's an idea that really stands out to you, please share in the comments below. And if there's an idea that we think is great, but you don't, please share in the comments below. You can influence us. We want you to influence us so that we only say yes to the right entrepreneur with the right idea and the right market and the right business model. So with that, you ready, Penny?
Let's go.
Want to shave before the first entrepreneur comes on?
No, I'm ready to go.
Keep it fresh. Keep it fresh. All right, bring on the first entrepreneur in the tank.
What if you knew about Instagram or Slack or Clubhouse when the company was raising a friends and family round at $10,000 per person? What if you were able to see all the tech companies that Grant Cardone and Jared Yellin have co-founded in one place and invest in any that excite you? What if you were able to expand your portfolio into early stage tech companies with extraordinary founders and teams? 10x Tech Angels is the most unique investment club that you will ever find, because not only will you see some of the most innovative tech companies at the lowest valuations ever, but you will also be educated on how to pick tech winners, meet other members of our community, and experience the excitement associated with taking an early idea to exit. Become one of the founding members of 10x Tech Angels for an exclusive offer with some extraordinary bonuses. To learn more, visit 10xtechangels.com.
We are back from commercial break with another entrepreneur in the tank. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Mike Vilstich, and I'm calling from Salt Lake City, Utah.
Awesome, Mike from Utah. All right, man, you got 5 minutes. Please share that big tech idea.
Okay, let me get my screen shared here for you. Okay, so 30 years ago, I started my real estate career. And back then, there was a problem that realtors had, and they have the same problem today. And that problem is getting good quality leads that are affordable. And we would go around, we do open houses, we do cold calling, all of these things. And all of the real estate gurus would tell you, you should get 1 to 2 leads for every person that you're working with. And I thought, well, yeah, that works out really well if they remember to tell me about their friends or family that they're wanting to buy or sell a home. And I wanted to find a way that I could get to know their friends and family ahead of time so I could rely on my marketing and my follow-up with these people. And so I figured that out. Now, there's another problem, and it has to do with tech. Now, I know this is Tech Tank, so don't shut me down now just because I said that. But the problem is that new realtors rely so much on technology that they've forgotten sometimes that buying and selling a home is one of the most emotional things that most people will do. And so we want to build a stronger relationship. So I came up with a solution that gets realtors 10 to 15 leads on average for every closing they do for a one-time cost of $1,297. Now, let's talk the numbers. There's over 1.5 million realtors in the United States. Alone, I can get to about 1% of them. And so just for a basic package of $1,297, that'd be about $19.5 million. Now, I think with Cardone's influence, we could get to 4 to 5% of these people, which now we're talking an $80 to $100 million, and that's without even our add-ons. And so 25 years ago, what I started doing is what I now call party to success. I started throwing housewarming parties for people. Now, this idea is so old school that it's new, right? What is the one thing most people want to do when they buy a new home? They want to show it off to all their friends and family. So I help them out with that. They just have to get their house set up and make it look nice, and we bring the party in. And so instead of a gift basket or something like that, this is what we do. Now, this is kind of how it works. Before the party happens, I've got 3 touches that I have with the people that I've talked to them, I sent out invitations. So I'm already developing the relationship before the party ever happens. Once we get to the party, now we feed them. And the food becomes very important. It's a full meal. Now, it's not a sit-down dinner, but it's a full meal. And the recipes have actually become legendary. I get people asking for these recipes at every party. And so they become a very important part of the follow-up that we're going to do. I have someone there who takes care of all of the food. And all I have to do then is go around and talk to people and strengthen that relationship that I've already started. And so by the end of the party, I've got to know all of their best friends and family. Now, we have the after party. That's my 4-touch system in 3 weeks, where by the time that's over, I have 70% of these people telling me that, yes, Mike, when we're ready to buy or sell a home, we're going to work with you, and we're going to tell our friends and family about you too. And that's why I tell them, yeah, we'll invite you to another party then too. And so they love that. And so when I got involved with Cardone University, my coach and I thought, man, this would be a great lead generation system that we could market to realtors. And so it would be very similar to the training templates that you have on Cardone University. So we would have our basic package, which we call our Rockstar package. And why do we call it the Rockstar package? Because rock stars like to party. Okay, and that's the $1,297. They would have access to the training modules. There would be a calendaring interface where they would just have to put in the date of the party, and it would then auto-populate all of the deadlines they need to meet to have a successful party and the follow-up. If they want to be a superstar, then they would sign up for our annual package, which would also include then 4 calls with me, and twice a month we would do a mastermind call for people who are involved to share their wins and also to talk about any issues they might be having. Now, if they want to be a legend in their market, they're going to sign up for our monthly subscription, which our team would send out monthly content that they could use as follow-up with these people, and it would be relevant to real estate, and that they could email or snail mail out, and also send out social media bites that they could put out there so they truly become the legend realtor in their marketplace. Now, this program has never failed. In over 25 years of doing this, I have never left a party without having leads in my pocket. Like I say, on average, it's 10 to 15 leads. And so my question to you guys now is, are you guys ready to party?
Love it, man. So I you can stop sharing your screen. So I love the strategy, because one of the industries that I've spent an enormous amount of time in is in chiropractic, like over a decade ago, probably close to like 15 years ago now. And one of the things I used to help chiropractors do was throw these like dinner workshops, and which is similar to what you were just sharing, and it just killed it. Like they would get 30 to 40 to 50 people to come to a dinner. It was an educational workshop. They paid for the dinner, and they would usually get 50 to 75% of the room to schedule their first visit. And then of those first visits, they were able to secure about 25 to 30% of them as new patients, with a case average of $3,500. And that one dinner, which cost them $2,000, produced $100,000 in revenue. So I love it because it's combining things that we preach, which is education and relationship-based marketing. You're able to educate and build relationships with them. What I want to understand is, what is the tech in this? What do we need to build to streamline this so it happens at scale, versus you kind of coaching and mentoring people through the process and then manually doing it? Like, what do you envision the tech being?
So the tech would be these training modules like what you have on Cardone University, that they could just go through, they could review those. And like I said, you would have the calendaring interface to make it really easy, and templates that they would have also that they could use, that they could put in their, they could just put in their name, their logo, their picture, that so they could use that for all the marketing. So that's the tech that we could use and just have it spread out.
Does it need more than that though? Like, would you need an email marketing system to send out invitations, and then a place where people can go to sign up because they're coming to the party, so they're registering online, and once they register, they get reminder emails and reminder text messages with the location information, and then you have some flyers that get generated, so you can have flyers to hand out to people and invitations, and then people come to the experience. When they're at the experience, like, this is where the training comes in. You need to train the realtor on what to do at these parties, right? So they can facilitate the party as well. But then after the event is finished, there's a follow-up campaign that goes out automatically through email, through text, et cetera, to try to secure the deal. Is that like the big vision, or is your vision to just teach other realtors how to host parties like this?
Yeah, that's what it is. It's teaching other realtors to do it, and going into, like starting with some of the big companies out there, the Keller Williams, the Coldwell Bankers, Remax, and start going to, getting them sold to these guys, and Elena Cardone and people like that, because I think this is, it's such the tech part, I think, is the biggest part, is the training, plus all the things that we send out that they use as tech for follow-up. Like I said,
speak into the follow-up process as well, because I think actually because technically, if you really wanted to, you could put the course up on an unlisted video on YouTube, and you could just throw it on there, or you could use the Giphic or Kajabi and really make it like use an LMS platform to make it really nice. But speaking to the follow-up that's needed, that we could be building the tech around.
So I think that follow-up that we would need there is having a system where automatically stuff is sent out to these realtors that is auto-generated to send out to them, that they can then send out through tech on social media, things like that would automatically follow up then with their clients, and they would have things on there that would always have a call to action for their clients that they're sending it out to, so that people could respond and say, yeah, we're ready.
I really want to think bigger about it though, because like the success of this will be predicated on having this done for the realtor. Like it's just like done. Like they can kind of set it and forget it, and then show up and have the party. And you have this formula to how to have a successful party. So that's like the training component. But like everything else, in my opinion, because this is the world I come from, is automated. Like the email invitation should be automated. The generation of a print asset should be automated with a dedicated link on the asset that's driving people to a page where they can then just say they're coming to the party. There's 17 people coming to this party. And then as people register, they get reminders, so they know where to actually show up through email and through text message. and then you're going to teach them on how to make the party successful. But then after the party, like Eric was saying, everything should be automated. Like automated, text should be automated to schedule whatever that next step is. We have an audience here that potentially will love this. So what does everybody think? Should we move forward with Mike into due diligence? Would you use this if you are a realtor? Is this like the missing piece? Like, oh my goodness, that is the greatest way to generate leads. And would you want it to be a tech product or a training product? Because those are two different things. The training side is something that you can do today. The tech side obviously would require a bigger build. What are your thoughts? Please share in the comments below. Eric, what are you thinking?
So what I love about this is we have a clearly identified niche of really easy people to get in touch with. Realtors are really easy to get in touch with, and there's millions of realtors that we could be reaching out to about this. I want to so the training is good, but the training almost just needs to come with the tech platform. And I think that this is something that, like, you look at MailChimp, for example, and MailChimp has way too many features that a realtor doesn't even need to touch. I think there's a play here where we could build a super simple automated software specifically for realtors that does exactly what they need and nothing more. And they don't get confused by all of the gizmos and the gadgets on MailChimp and things like that. And they can, one, run their whole business from it, but then two, have this party platform completely automated with all follow-ups and everything. If we go into due diligence, and I'm a yes for due diligence, what we want to do is narrow down exactly what that tech would be needed to do. What are we going to build? How is it going to roll out? And the kind of price points people would be paying for that tech.
Cool. So for me, I'm a yes, because I believe that you have the expertise because you've done this and you've proven out something that 100% of realtors would like to experience, which is, how do I get more leads at a cheaper price? So that's a problem. You obviously built a solution for yourself. I'm not convinced the solution scales, though, in its current form, because it's so predicated on you. And I'm also not sold to the fact that you even need a tech product for you to potentially accomplish what you want to accomplish, which is to teach this to realtors. But I am a yes to go to due diligence, mainly because of what Eric just said. There's a workflow here that we could build inside of a tech product that's just overly simplified. And at the right price point, and realtors start doing parties like this once a month or once a quarter, there's a subscription service built in there. And that interests me immensely. We don't need to go and rebuild MailChimp or any other CRM technology. This is the workflow. If you want to host a party and you're a realtor and parties generate 10 high quality leads for X price, like this is your tool for $29 a month or whatever that number ends up being. So I'm a yes if you're open to going down that path. I'm a no if it just needs to be a training platform, because you don't need us for that. You can do that on your own. So I'm a yes, though, if you want to go on the path of building a limitless scale tech product. So you should just introspect to see if that's what you want. If you're a yes on that, then we're a yes on you. Thank you for coming to the tank. All right, after commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur in the tank.
Blueprinted is the place where you can go in and put those steps in there and then be able to impact the world and monetize on that by having a marketplace in the community that we're developing for you in Blueprinted.
So we've created the app for any expert to be able to come in and put their steps, their exact steps to success in our app and put it on a marketplace where people can go and buy their steps to any success.
We are back from commercial break with another entrepreneur in the tank. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, CJ Silva from Vocalize, calling from New Jersey. How are you today?
We are excellent. So nice to see you from New Jersey. You have 5 minutes. Please share your big tech idea.
Sure. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so in short, Vocalize Inc. is QR codes for speech. So I'm sure you've listened to podcasts or streaming audio and heard the ads present a URL as a way to contact the brand, and only to forget it 5 to 10 seconds later. So you're not alone with that. 75% of consumers don't remember that. And we end up going to Google to try to find that connection to the brand. So how can we change that? Because it's really tough for the consumer to remember that URL and then end up going to Google to see every competitor that's out there. So how can we make that more memorable and easier? And with Vocalize, that's what we do. So how we do that is the company leases a simple, memorable voice phrase related to their brand. So it could be a motto, a slogan, something about their branding. Assign a URL to that, and then present it to the consumer via marketing. So let's use Nike for an example. Nike could just say, to find out more, all you have to do is vocalize, just do it. So when the consumer says that phrase into their phone, into Siri or Google Assistant, in this example, hey Siri, vocalize, just do it, our solution will open the browser automatically on their phone and land the consumer right on the web page that the consumer wants or that the brand wants. So we'll see it real fast. Well, it's not showing right now. So we'll just keep going here. So let's talk about the market. The market is huge for this. The TAM just on the search ad market, SEO services market, and radio podcast advertising is over 120 billion. The SOM for that's protected by our intellectual property in the US is about 60 billion, and it's growing rapidly every year. Proprietary technology, we are covered by a US patent. We do have insurance on that for both defense and enforcement, as well as applications pending in 40 other countries around the world. Some of the competition, you're familiar with manual internet search, right? Dependent on SEO, returns paid and organic results, shows a lot of competition. Direct click ads, you need to be in front of that ad in order for it to work, rather than something memorable like a jingle you could say at any time. AI assistants, so it's kind of a voice version of a manual search with the same flaws. And then there's some other companies that are doing interactive ads. So you might have heard some of those choose your own fate type ads on Spotify. So why are we better? We have multiple patents granted pending. The destination URL can be different based on user location. So back to that Nike example, if a user in Florida says, just do it into Siri, they might land on a particular website that deals with warm weather gear versus somebody who's in Maine that Nike might want them to land on cold weather gear. So it also provides ease of use over all of your integrated marketing. So it's a call to action that can be used on streaming audio, can be used in television, print, any type of integrated marketing that you're using. We do have a first to market advantage. Nobody else is doing this right now. And additionally, no special permissions are required on the phone in order for this to work. You don't have to give microphone access. You don't have to give location access. Real simple. So we've created something that's simple, easy, and memorable for consumers to connect with brands. So our go-to-market plan is to partner with existing audio podcast apps with our SDK. So this doesn't require you to download a new app. So this is something that is really lightweight, can go into an existing app. Partner with consumer apps, and we also want to partner with mental health agencies to provide easy access to resources. One of the phrases we've created is I'm not alone. So you can speak that into Siri or Google Assistant with an activated phone, and it'll take you right to some quick links to dial the suicide prevention lifeline. It can put you in touch to chat with somebody, some unique case studies over at the Trevor Project. So just a lot of information somebody can get right away by speaking an affirmation. So some of where we're at right now, we launched our MVP. Now we're up to version 1.1 with some of our enhancements that we put in addition to our SDK. We're expecting a gross profit of over 85% over the end of the year. How we make our money is we lease these phrases yearly, similar to like you would see with a domain name, and we lease them for $24.50 for a phrase that works nationally. If a leasee does not renew their phrase within 6 months, it then goes to auction. So it's another way for us to gain a little bit more revenue. If somebody doesn't want that phrase, but somebody else does, we put that up to auction so somebody can acquire that phrase. So team, I am CJ Silva. I am the founder of another company called Cova Corp. I built it from 2 to 30 employees. I've led teams in every aspect of the business, from hiring, firing, sales, solution design, support installation, even product dev. I designed an emergency alert system that's in use in major airports around the country. We have a CTO as a service with Mark Adler. Mark is a genius. He's been a CTO or chief architect at many places like MetLife, Citadel, and he's helped us grow into that version 1.1 by putting in some more redundant architecture and being able to scale it a little bit more. Advisory team. Former director of emerging and innovative tech over at Walmart, BS from MIT, really smart guy. So we're looking on, standing on the shoulders of giants to try to grow this. So vocalize, this will be the next household word. You're going to hear it on all streaming audio. You're going to hear it on podcasts. Instead of go to www.oursiteisthebest/promo code, you're going to hear vocalize, just do it, or whatever phrase is there. So the question is, do you want to be part of it?
Awesome. Great presentation. You can stop sharing your screen. So besides for your fractional CTO and advisor, who else is on your team?
It's just me right now. I bootstrapped it for now. So I've outsourced all the development to this time. Just really at the point was the MVP, like, will it work, right? So should we build the team around it, or should I just, out of pocket just to see if it would work? And it did.
Good for you. So what's your most significant need right now? You're looking to build out a more integrated team to accelerate on the innovation side? Are you looking for very intense promotional support? Are you looking for an investment of capital? Maybe all the above. Like, speak into what the need is today.
Okay, so it's twofold. So the team is necessary. So building the team, we've had some conversations with some big players out in the field, some big social media companies, and their acquisition teams really look for an established development team that they can just plug into their existing ecosystem. So we want to build out the team, want to bring that development in-house. And we also are looking for investors that have those connections that are going to get us inside with those early adopters. So that we'll gain that instant market share by putting our SDK into an existing app, rather than go the hurdle of trying to get 20 million people to download our app, right? That's a big hurdle. So if we can tag along and encourage people, so if there's an existing app, they're going to get additional app activations by people saying, hey, if you have Snapchat installed already, all you have to do is say this, right? So people are going to say, oh, that's kind of cool. It's going to drive more people to that platform. Now, Snap is
how are you what's your plan to educate people to do that? Because real quick, 2 stories, QR codes have been around forever, and they've had like the biggest transformation during COVID because of the utility of them. But then also because nobody knew how to use the QR code. And then when they figured out, oh, you just have to open up your camera and just point it at the QR code, you're all set. Then number 2, on Snapchat, if I ever show people that Shazam is integrated into Snapchat, their minds are blown. They have no clue that it's happening. How are you going to educate people that it's there inside of the platform?
Okay, so 2 ways. First is our initial go-to-market is over podcast advertising. Because podcasts by nature, the audiences are early adopters. By definition of people who are listening to podcasts, largely early adopters. By putting a little bit of education into that ad or that sponsorship that's within the podcast, you're going to drive that excitement. You're going to get that first 20% of people to drive and start learning about it, and the education will be part of the ad. And it's also in benefit to the brand or the sponsor who's presenting the ad, because now they have a direct way to connect with the consumer, right? They don't have to spend for the ad and then drive people to Google.
So what does that user story look like for me? So I listen to my podcasts on Spotify. So what would I do? I hear vocalize, just do it. And then where do I even go to speak into?
Okay, so the goal is we would be already involved. Let's say we're part of the SDK for Spotify. If you're listening to us on Spotify, all you have to do is say, hey, Siri, vocalize, just do it. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little bit of education initially, right? So people understand what it is. And that vocalize keyword that triggers it, it's a white label, right? If a brand wants to put this into their app, they can change that trigger. So it doesn't have to be, hey, Siri, vocalize. It could be, hey, Siri, Spotify Connect, or whatever they want that trigger to be to stay on point with their.
Where does it take the person to? So like when that phrase is communicated, where does it take them to? Like the brand can decide what happens. Yeah.
Correct.
How does that
work?
So
on our back end, the brand selects the destination when the user says that phrase. So they can choose the landing URL. It could be a phone number that'll pre-populate your dialer. But like the example I gave, if they say just do it, we can identify where the user is. So we can say, okay, that user's in Florida, they're going to go to this URL, versus a user who's in Montana, we're going to send them to this URL, all with the same phrase, right? Same campaign, same phrase.
So how do you own the phrase? Like, how does Vocalize own these phrases? Like, how does that work?
So on our back end, we have a whole marketplace. So you can search for the phrase that you want. You lease the phrase for 1 year, and we also have homonyms and homophones built in. So somebody's not going to hijack it by doing a phrase that sounds like yours, because we are using speech recognition, right? So we have that built in.
Let's do it. Yeah.
You could.
Yeah. Really interesting, CJ. I love how you initially just, like, how much money did you invest? Like, because you said you just wanted to prove it out. But I think it's a great example for everybody. Like, what did you invest to prove this out before realizing there's a product market fit?
So about $250,000.
Oh, so it's a lot.
Wow, yeah.
That's more than
That's
some
serious. That's not just pocket change.
Yeah, that's some serious proof change right there. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah. All right. What does everybody think of CJ's idea? Vocalize. Would you use this for your brand? Would you love to use this as an end user, as a consumer of this? What are your thoughts? Should we move forward in due diligence? Eric, what are your thoughts?
So I'm the kind of person, I guess I would be an early adopter because I'm always looking for new ways that brands are engaging with their audience. One time I was watching Hulu I was using an Xbox to do it, and they put a QR code on the commercial, and I told my girlfriend, I was like, stop, we got to see where that takes us. I can't wait to see it. And I think this is another one of those things that, like, as we keep getting into more audio only platforms like podcasting or audio rooms like Clubhouse, I think this is going to be a phenomenal way for people to be doing calls to action. One, I'm a yes for due diligence on that. Two, you also got me in the FOMO because if I hear Joe Rogan say vocalize it and we said no, I'm gonna just like so mad.
Yeah, no, and really amazing presentation.
Yeah,
you burn the boats, right? You put a lot of resources into this, so now you got to make it work. You have a great team you've been able to attract with your fractional CTO and your advisor. I love the fact that you did so much of this. You outsourced the development. I could tell though you were really on top of it. So I have a feeling that what's been built is really strong. I'm a yes to go into due diligence. I really want to go deeper into this. Like, I want to see what you built. I want you to demo it for us. Like, you did a great job in 5 minutes, though, of hooking us and really explaining problem, solution, and you have data to back it up. So great presentation, and we'll see you in due diligence. All right, after commercial break, we'll have another entrepreneur in the tank.
This is the great secret of my life. The thing that has made me is one word. Dude, this thing is so big. It's about the 10X movement.
The 10X movement had really improved my life dramatically.
Now I'm a millionaire because of it.
Our business was at $2 million. This year we're on projection to do $25 million.
Our revenue went up 29%.
We've already got our tickets for next year as well.
Before we even started, I could go home right now and I got my money's worth.
That's why I come to GrowthCon, and I'll always come to GrowthCon.
10X means a lot to me. 10X, like I told you, is just the beginning. 10 times more power to help those that need it the most. 10 times more power to motivate and inspire those out there. Give him a 10X!
With other people witnessing what's happening with us, is like chains are being broken from families everywhere.
I'm gonna tell you, 10X, it was a lifesaver, a life changer for me. And just because of what it's done for my family and what it's done for me.
And this is where people get stuck, and that's why we do the 10X Growth Conference, to get you out of comfort, to get you out of comparing yourself to somebody in Pakistan that has nothing. We want to make this a big event for you. Our goal is to change your lives. Welcome to your 10X Growth Conference.
There we go. Another episode of The Tank. Entrepreneurs from around the world sharing their vision, sharing their ideas, sharing their dreams. As someone that watches us regularly, because I have this feeling that you're that person. You're showing up each night, you're seeing entrepreneurs, you're starting to gain more clarity on like what's right and what's wrong. What are we gonna say yes to? What is potential? And I wanna honor you for that. I truly believe that receiving pitches is a muscle. It's a muscle that you need to keep on working so you can gain more clarity around which companies are gonna win and which are gonna really struggle. So keep coming back. Come back every night. Pretend like you're us. Pretend like you're us and comment in the comments below so that we know how you feel about each pitch. We know what your thoughts are. I mean, from the first episode of The Tank until now, the level of precision that both Eric and I have is off the charts. We've 10x'd it because we've heard so many more pitches from all different people and from around the world. And I hope that you're benefiting that way as well. I hope that you're not just here to listen, but you're here to immerse yourself. We hope in the future to have shows like this all around the world. We anticipate having other people hosting 10x Tech Tanks in their towns live. And if you're someone that really enjoys that and excites you, keep showing up. Keep showing up so you can flex that muscle, so that you can refine the skill, and you can eventually be a judge on your own 10x Tech Tank. So with that, thank you for being here. We appreciate your presence, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.
Which napkin will become the next exit? Which MVP will evolve into a unicorn? Which cash-flowing tech company will reach the next level? Our hope and desire is that it's yours. Your idea, your MVP, your cash-flowing tech company. Now is your time. Head over to 10xincubator.com and submit your idea so that you get on the tank and give us the chance to transform your napkin into an exit. That's 10xincubator.com. That's 10xincubator.com. Let's go.